Everything's under control. Situation normal.
What happened?
Had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Chris Scalzo here with
Matt Howell.
On this episode of The First Run, Matt and I are going to delve into our subconsciousnesses in an attempt to work out the deep hostilities bubbling just underneath the surface of this show we have for each other. Who knows what horrors will reveal this episode as we discuss Backrooms. And don't worry, your pretty little weird pirate heads. I'll then run down the big releases on physical media. I guess that'll be it. So Matt, let's go ahead and let's get freaky.
I found something in the store.
Okay. What did you find?
The place. I found a place.
Matt Chiwetel Ejiofor has found a place. What has he found? What is this film all about?
What's his name in this? I should know this. I forgot.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
No, I mean his character's name.
Oh, I'm sorry. His character's name is Clark.
Clark, that's right. Thank you. So Clark owns I think it must be the late 80s, early 90s when this is supposed to be taking place.
1990, I think specifically.
Okay, very specifically it's 1990. So Clark, he owns a failing furniture store. Bills are piling up. We come to find out through a therapy session that he is an alcoholic. He is divorced from his wife. The bills are piling up. He's about to lose the store. And everything is just going completely wrong. One night, while he's having some trouble with the power, he heads down into the basement showroom of his store, which, by the way, if you're having money troubles, don't have such a store that's so freaking huge. I mean, the thing is massive. Anyway, he goes downstairs and he sees a line of light coming through one of the walls, and he steps into it and he finds a subterranean liminal space of just seems to be an endless maze of office building type walls and rooms that seem to make no sense. And he, of course, gets the brilliant idea that one would do to go and explore this. I mean, if I found a crazy space in my basement, I would definitely be going in and exploring it.
Not me.
Yeah.
It is also, I should say, his furniture store is conveniently rather unpopulated with furniture for the most part as well.
Right.
I mean, there's some there.
Yeah.
But it's a little sparse in that shop. It's no Bob's Discount Furniture to get a nice localized reference for people.
Absolutely not.
So let's backtrack a little bit on this, Matt. I'm kind of curious for you. Were you familiar with this story prior to the film? Like, did you watch the videos on YouTube?
No, I didn't watch the videos beforehand, but I will say I was very familiar with this story. I have a young daughter, and she is, as the young kids are, into things like SCPs and creepypastas. And this was one of the creepypastas that were making the rounds, right? And she was very well aware of it, and she had made me aware of it. And then, of course, I saw it across the internet, essentially that I believe the foundation of this was somebody told a spooky story on 4chan implying that they had found this kind of space and had put on a bunch of pictures, and it kind of just grew legs and kind of made its own lore with video games and stuff.
Yeah, so specifically, if you're not familiar too, the creepypasta, this is a relatively new term, right, on the internet. It's basically just user-generated scary stories that kind of go viral, right?
Right, with the exception of two things. One, it's supposed to be written in a way that it's first person, and in such a way that it could be interpreted that it's real. Like the idea of somebody's telling a story on the internet of something that really happened to them, and that's what makes them popular.
So the first version of this, the initiating event was, as Matt said, a 4chan thread, but it was simply just somebody posting an image and asking for other people to post for images that are just, though they look normal, there's still a feeling of just, it's unsettling when you look at it. You can't really explain why. And then somebody added a comment that specifically read, "If you're not careful and you no clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the back rooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent, I'll get there, lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby. It has sure as hell heard you." So that's what. So some guy posted the photo, and it's true. In its singularity, it is an odd-looking image of this yellow room with odd wall cut configurations and stuff like that. Another user adds that part of it, and then it kind of just blows up from there. And so then Kane Parsons on his channel then starts this web series called Backrooms. When I got home from the theater, I watched all of them last night.
Okay.
And it's to varying degrees of success, I think they are. But it gave me something that the film did not, which we'll talk about a little bit too. So what are your thoughts on Backrooms, Matt? We had a big success with Obsession. Actually continues to increase, I think, its box office returns. And now Backrooms is considered like the next big thing of this independent indie horror movement that we've been experiencing this past year that has been fantastic so far this year. Is Backrooms another success? This kid's 21, the director of this thing.
Yeah.
He was 16, 17 when he started making these shorts on YouTube. Did it work for you? What are your thoughts on Backroom?
Yeah, overall, I think this did work for me. I think, as this thing continues, or like it starts off, it's all very creepy. It's all very unsettling. I think the mystery of it is what makes it so scary. And I think they very smartly, for much of the runtime of this film, kind of keep things in the side. You only catch these glimpses. They don't really explain what any of this is. And I think that really does a lot to make it frightening to you, right? I think, unfortunately, this coming after something that was just so good in Obsession, I think this kind of suffers by comparison a little bit, which may be unfair. But I think for 3/4 of this, I thought it was a very well, effective done, different type of horror film. And I think the only part that it starts to lose me is when they start to explain everything and then you stop, everything kind of becomes visible to you. Although even after that, there are some parts that were had me run faster. So, and overall, I thought it was quite successful.
I struggle at times. I feel like it was too surrealistic, too out there, and I wanted something to kind of grab onto for it to kind of make sense. I mean, in its simplicity about the horror of being trapped, I guess, in this alternate dimension of this never-ending but almost always changing configurations of rooms, as well as chairs and furniture and things being almost melded as part of the rooms. And then we get the introduction of actual people in there who are how would you describe them, as half-remembered dreams of people. I felt like I needed something more to grab onto as I'm flowing down the river of this film. And the shorts and all the stuff from YouTube does provide a lot more background and exposition as to what's happened, or at least why. But there's never any definitive lore or book as to, all right, XYZ 1, 2, 3, right? It is, the whole thing is kind of still out there. And just, I guess part of it maybe is to keep you off balance and confused as to what's happening. And for that, I think then it's mostly successful. But where it falters at all for me, really, too, is at the end when Mark Duplass's character takes a larger role, kind of generally gives us some information as to what's happening. The ending of the film ultimately, I think, it may feel determinative, but it's not in any capacity. So it is very open-ended for the ending of the movie. And I don't think the film as a whole measures up to its opening scene. I think it's very successful the first, 5-6 minutes. And then when we get the character study with Ejiofor Clark and all the things that are happening with him, I think his turn as what appears to be a broken man who slowly kind of decides to embrace the monster, I guess maybe, that he truly is good and interesting. The way he just, with reckless abandon, brings in his assistant manager and her boyfriend to kind of to help him explore the back rooms is another example of him. And then I want to get into what's happening here. What is this? Right? We're opening a door, from what I understand, to an alternate dimension. But a dimension that feeds on the psyches or the consciousness of people, and to kind of, I don't know what, create like a somewhat surrealistic, though it's not really surrealistic, but a somewhat alternate, half-remembered version of the world that people live in. And then the part that I struggle with is the introduction of Clark's, I guess you're getting into spoiler territory here now, so don't listen on, I guess, if you haven't watched it yet. But the introduction of Clark's malevolence as a physical, tangible force. Right? And when he gives himself that permission to kind of lean in and be that, even then at that point he becomes consumed by his own, internal rage and violence.
Sure.
I'm just trying to struggle to put that all together. What is your interpretation of what's happening?
So, to me, the way I interpreted it is a place where lost places go, like things that don't exist anymore. So, like, I kind of tied that to the beginning where the therapist's house is destroyed to make way for a series of condos, right? So
yeah,
they even kind of explicitly show this, like it starts at one level and then it kind of changes and changes as it kind of descends deeper and deeper into the back rooms, and like that piece of your memory being fragmented in this place that used to exist doesn't anymore, and it only exists in our memory, right? And that's what I see as it kind of going to where it's like a dimension where our memories essentially influence the way it's put together, and as we lose pieces of it, it starts to lose pieces of what it's made, and it just goes on and on and on that way. As far as why Clark is able to manifest this creature that is a part of him, and why it's the only one that seems to have any agency, and why, I get that it's because it's maybe right above his store, but are there other creatures roaming around? That's the part I don't really get. All I can figure is that whatever he had is so powerful, is supposed to be manifesting in this place, but I don't know if I buy it that, that this one guy in this one place on this supposedly endless dimension is the only one who's created this rage monster that is stalking these halls. So that piece of it, I'm not sure I agree with, but I think that's the way I interpreted what was going on.
Yeah, so the shorts, the other YouTube stuff doesn't really expand that. There is something else there that's stalking people, but he never expands upon it to see if it's any actual physical manifestation of the occupant of the location at that time. But I think what helps tie that in is that Clark wants to be an architect, right? He's a failed architect, which I think lends into that. So then I wonder are the back rooms, is it a symbiotic relationship, right? Where it wants to work with you and then to provide you what it thinks you need?
Right.
Does it adapt to you? Is it manifesting your darkest self as a protector, or assuming there are certain individuals that perhaps are more attuned to the back rooms than others? Does it assume it to create a being you would understand to present itself to you in some kind of projection that you might be able to understand and have the capacity to interact with? I don't know. And then we have the whole thing, are these physical manifestations of just somebody's trauma, the memories that kind of haunt us, that live deep inside the neural pathways of our brains? So Parsons, I think, is doing this on purpose to leave things open for that type of interpretation. But I still think it's too loose. And like I said when I first started talking about it, I wanted something more like a life preserver, something to grab onto to guide me through this, which I just didn't get, which is fine. A lot of people are really enjoying the film, and it's good. I enjoyed it as well. And I just don't know to what end the story is, outside of just presenting to us the things that potentially haunt us that we may never ever be able to get past. And maybe I'm just not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's best not to explore our deepest traumas lest we release it onto the world. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess if he had wanted to kind of leave this up to interpretation, I think it would have been a lot better if we never really saw the creature, like maybe quick glimpses, maybe a silhouette or something like that. Even if Clark had said, "Oh, it's just me," right? If you hadn't seen it, right, and it was always just kind of outside of frame, is he projecting on it? Is he completely wrong? I think that would have been a lot more effective. But if it was more like a Blair Witch kind of thing, as opposed to seeing exactly what it is towards the end.
Yeah, that may be true. Another couple of just things I enjoyed. First off, just the audio of the film when it becomes to the lights. There is that constant buzz, but also some ambient sounds. Also, the music, I think, makes some interesting effects into the film when it almost sounds new agey, relaxing-y, and then the bass kicks in or something and it warps, and you're about to engage with something unsettling. The rooms themselves, which basically for the most part have this kind of pale yellow tone to them, do shift rather abruptly at times, as well as into different configurations of rooms, which it helps, I think, kind of keep us guessing and off balance as well. And there are some truly, really effective scares in the film. So yeah, I think overall it's very successful. For Pirate Clark, that was not CGI for the most part. That was that same guy, Robert Bobrzinski, who played the alien hybrid thing in Alien Romulus.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that was unsettling. I mean, I think I figured out about a third of the way through or whatever that's what it was.
Okay.
Especially when I saw the tri-corner head.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is just Clark's evil. I don't know if it is the right term there. But, listen, 21 years old, out of the gate. Big success for Kane Parsons. I'm impressed and keen to see what he does next, Matt. I think I'm going to give Backrooms a B.
I'm right there with you. I think a B is the right score. And you know what? It's all good so far for horror. I'm very impressed, 2 for 2. Hopefully the streak continues for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and also, too, bagging Renate Rensselaer in this as well. I mean, you get Ejiofor and her, two really, I think, of the moment. Well, Ejiofor has been around for a while, but she has kind of been after Worst Person in the World, the Walk-On True film, she continued to do great work as well. In fact, did she just win an Academy Award? I know the film she was in last year did, Best International Feature, but I can't remember if she has won for it. So how about, Chris, you could just look it up right now. Yeah, she was just nominated for Sentimental Value. She did not win. She was nominated for Worst Person in the World as well. So, but Sentimental Value did, I think, win Best International Feature for the year. So, good times, Matt. If you've had a chance to see Backrooms, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. I always like it when the movies make me put on my thinking cap. All right, Matt, let's run down the big releases on physical media. It occurs to me I didn't pull this for the clip, but we got to talk about it. But here's something else entirely.
Currently packing fries at the Burger King on Douglas. Do you have any experience in motion pictures?
Yeah, quite a bit, actually. I have quite a bit experience. I'm an active renter at Blockbuster, and I attend the film to cinema as much as possible, weekly, bi-weekly, intermediately.
Would you be willing to cut your hair?
Yes, but it's usually better if someone else does it.
I think for me, one of the last great roles of Eddie Murphy was Steve Martin in Bowfinger, being released in 4K this upcoming Tuesday. Matt, that is June 9th. So I guess the big announcement we wanted to talk about briefly, I think Matt and I have already pre-ordered it. I checked it right before we recorded the show to see if it was still available. But Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair is being released on physical media. If you buy it directly from Lionsgate Limited, they have a special collector's edition. It's going to run you 60 bones. But it looks fantastic. I will say the special features on this are almost non-existent, much like the prior film in its original Blu-ray and DVD release. Though you do get the Lost Chapter, which is that Unreal Engine, what is that game? Roblox or Fortnite, thank you, whatever the kids are playing today. Combo thing. So that is included on here. But it does come with a nice 40-page book. a 70 millimeter film cell, some artwork, lobby cards, poster. So you're getting something there, but it's a bunch of stuff. Not a lot of stuff diving back into the actual making of the film, but it's available now. You can also buy these standard editions from Amazon and all the other retailers. But Lionsgate Limited does have that collector's edition of Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, in 4K, available for pre-order now. July 28th is its release date. All right, let's go.
Number 5.
Matt, number 5, we're going to go with Communion. The Christopher Walken film is coming back into print from Shout Factory. This is the one that's based on the air quotes true story about that guy that got abducted by the aliens. And includes audio commentary with the director, some outtakes, and behind the scenes footage, and a few more things at that.
4.
Arrow is releasing Marlowe. This is one of the adaptations of Philip Marlowe. This one featuring James Garner himself. Brand new restoration of 35 millimeter camera negative. I believe it's just a 2K Blu-ray release. Original lossless mono audio, and a brand new appreciation of the film called $100 a Day plus expenses, featuring film historian Howard Berger. So I've never seen Marlowe. I like James Garner, so I'll check that out. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I'll just see if I can find a way to check that out. Where are we, 3?
Get 3 coffins ready.
Huh?
It occurs to me I don't have 5 items, so let's. You know what? I do have other stuff. All right, I'll figure it out. I'm good. West Indies, The Fugitive Slaves from Criterion. The story traverses the West Indies, Europe, and Middle Passage, jumps across time to depict the effects of official French policy upon the colonized, the enslaved, and their descendants, and surveys the actions and motivations of the resigned, the revolutionary, and the powers that be, along with their lackeys. Brand new 4K digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. A new interview with African cinema scholar, I should have read this beforehand, Abubakar Senego. Nailed it. Program featuring archival interviews with the director, Med Hondo, and more. How about 2? Want to go 2?
Well, you 2 lovebirds take it easy, okay?
If you're a Steelbook fan, there's going to be a big box set. I believe it's an Amazon exclusive. 8 Spielberg films in this set. Jaws, Close Encounters, Raiders, E.T., Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, and War of the Worlds. These are all 4K Steelbook releases. And then we'll go with 1.
There can be only one.
Since I didn't really do the count right, I'll just go with one of these other 4K releases, Matt. What do you think would be number 1 out of these releases? We talked about Bowfinger, Notting Hill, The Burbs, which is what I'm leaning towards, then Project A and Project A Part 2, the 2 Jackie Chan classics as well. Which do you think should be number 1?
Out of those, I would say The Burbs.
Agreed. All right, so you can pick those all up in 4K. And I believe that Burbs is actually I think it's a Steelbook. Maybe just traditional 4K. What's coming up next week on the big show, Matt?
We are checking out the new Masters of the Universe, which I'm cautiously optimistic about. I'm hoping we get another Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves surprisingly fun film.
How have we not had a sequel to that yet?
I don't know. Well, it didn't do very well. That's why.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Like we should do that sometime. Bring back a segment like sequels that we want to see. I think we've done it before, but not for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Dungeons and Dragons. What else? Nice Guys, of course.
Yeah.
Should have gotten a sequel. Should have gotten like 2 or 3 by now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I think too, I may pull from the archive, Matt, the original Masters of the Universe discussion that we had back during our 80s marathon and tag that on. That might be fun.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So that's it. In the meantime, you can check us out at thefirstrun.com. Find archives of all the old shows there. The report card, there's even a little player. Just hit play and it'll start rifling, playing old shows. You can find us as well on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Blue Sky. Do a search for The First Run. Scroll. Eventually you'll find us. And Matt and I are both on Letterboxd. You can find him at Thurston, and I believe I'm at Chris Scalzo, or just look for The First Run. It'll pop up. And I guess, Matt, that shall be that for this week. So we're going to go ahead, take a little extended break. Please know that we all love you very, very much. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you all soon. Take care. I've really got to start playing that outro clip a little earlier, huh?
There go the goddamn brownies.